Oof. What? Sorry. This is always the intro, right? Starts with oof. I decided to go back to reading for the zodiac signs today, starting with Taurus, coming into Taurus season. And I came out with a very simple idea that I can't even get back. Well, it'll come out. And I just wanted to say, I'm going to start with the Aquarian Tarot. I love this deck. I took it with me on my little sojourn to see my family and my daughter's family, granddaughter, a lovely son-in-law. And I don't know, it's just a nice deck. So I think I'll start with that one since I'm talking about it. I have a couple of clarifying decks I think I'll use. Yeah, I'm just trying to get at what I was thinking about. You know, by the time I turn the lights on and get the fan off and do the smudge and get water, and I often forget what I was going to focus on, which is probably a good thing. I think it had something to do with forgetting. Something to do with forgetting. Well, I think it had something to do with, like, at least I often experience a situation where when something's really troubling, a relationship is really troubling, I try to not think about it. And even with past, well, both with past people and people who have passed. And now I'm not in such a, I don't want to think about you, but during their lifetimes, I had to set boundaries for myself that I felt bad about. And as it turns out, when I sort of asked these people, or one of them in particular, this is why I had to set a boundary, because this is how damaging the relationship was to me. You know, it really messed with my head in like a huge way. This person was very self-destructive, you know, and would sort of let me know after the fact. It was driving me nuts. And I was very young. I was in a grade school and high school when I knew this person. And the relationship carried on for many years until I lost her. And there was some repair, and part of it was I said, this had screwed me up so much. And she said, you know, I never even thought about it. It never occurred to me what this might be doing to people who love me, that I was so self-destructive, and it made me so selfish that I never thought about it. And I had to set up this big boundary with her because she didn't care enough about, you know, how it hurt me. And in fact, she said, yeah, I didn't care because I was too, I was too screwed up to think about it. Wasn't in my ken. Was too busy trying to get my chin above water. And she did for many years against great odds. But even when we'd gotten okay with it, and I was okay with her visiting me, she lived in another country. And absolutely, yes, come. You know, it would be great to see you. But she kept inviting me to visit her, and I couldn't do it. I mean, A, because I, didn't have the dough, and I had other obligations, but I just really didn't think I could go visit her. She's present for me now in many ways, and I think she's here today. So it has something to do with, I mean, and we've talked about this before, but even people who have passed over, and they can help you maybe now in your, as a sort of member of soul tribe or however you want to call it. Their energy can come in and help you out with maybe with that very thing. The need to set a boundary against people who were unhealthy or toxic. And even when they get well, you know, you never kind of admit them in with the same, you're just cognizant that you need to protect yourself. And that was true with a lot, I mean, of people I cared about, including my parents, you know. I remember my sister saying to me once, because I was saying, oh my God, it's so screwed up about this. And she said, well, put your armor on. Don't go in expecting that, you know, you can be wide open and vulnerable. Because maybe you can. Maybe you can. But don't go in with that expectation. And I don't even know how right she was, but it was right at the time. First card out. 2 of Wands, 2 of Rods. A decision about which way do I go? What are the ramifications if I go this way or that way? What does this choice say about... Suddenly I'm starving. It's very early in the morning and I haven't had breakfast. No, that's my bad. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? What am I drawn to? What am I ready for? Tell me about this decision, please, Spirit. I don't know if I said I'm reading for Taurus. Taurus has a choice. And it's, you know, when you have options, card of choice, Lovers. I love the way this works. How do I move forward with the person I love? Which way do I go to kind of connect with them without losing myself? I don't know why I say that, but... And 2 of Wands, 2 of Rods is an intuitive sense of which way. Because ultimately, at least in this decision, when I choose, I probably, Taurus, when I choose on the daily level about a future path that has options, the choice, Lovers, Gemini, the twin card, choice about this kind of a relationship. How do we move forward? And I think there's an implicit we. There's already been a choice. You know, you guys choosing each other. So can you tell us more about the choice? The moving forward. The intuitive pull. Spirit. Two cards. 3 cards, it looks like. Bottom of the deck, Fool. Major Arcana, as is Lovers. The choice to move forward, to boldly go where you haven't gone before. So it's a choice not to like it's a choice to leap forward into a new place with some faith. And it's the Fool card, it's the individual choice. So I'd say it's, like I just said a minute ago, it's Taurus's choice. And that's on the bottom of the deck. Well, I had a sense to pull it out, so we'll see. And Fool energy is this same energy, fire energy, which is to do with impulse, intuition, inspiration, a lot of inwards, but it's about outwards, the outward moving energy. But wanting more information, because that's implied in Two of Wands too. It's the planning stage. And this is like, it's in Sword energy. It's about information, needing clarity about this new thing. Because it's Page energy. And Fool is the new thing. And it's like ready to take the leap of faith, maybe based on this new information, having watched something. It's at a bit of a remove. You know, it's not jumping right in yet. It may still be in sort of a planning, learning stage. A young, and this is in the same energy, air energy as Lovers, Gemini. The clear choice. The clear choice. And Fool, the way I'm looking at it, is facing Page of Swords, who's facing the Fool. So it might be a little bit about know yourself, know what you're drawn to, know what you're willing to risk for this connection maybe, and some kind of path a choice that perhaps you've already made. For which path? Well, let's go some more, because let's go. Okay, yeah. Under Two of Wands, Two of Rods, the World card. The big portal. Because one path will lead to this wholly new, and I always pause before trying to say what, but what's on the other side of the portal? You're passing through. It's like a card of rebirth. For some reason, I'm getting the picture of sort of the womb, the place you will emerge from as a new being. Major Arcana card. And that's sort of like this, too. It's a new, fresh, forward-moving energy. Making the choice to move forward. And it's very archetypal energy, but the two minor arcana cards are the card of choice and the card, which way do I go? And the card of fresh sword energy. The investigation energy, the looking into it. From a young, fresh clarity. And under a Lover's Knight of Cups. You know, this is a love offer. This is, it has something to do with this birthing into the new life process. And it's to do with feelings. And it comes under lovers. Lovers. What's the matter with my mouth? It's really early. But it's getting late, you know, it's not that, I've been up for hours, so. But it's coming in, perhaps a clarity around feelings about this connection. That's, you want to move forward. You want to move forward. Tell us about Fool, please. Chariot, indeed. And this is a card that speaks sometimes to balance between two people, sometimes to balance within yourself. It's being in alignment so you can move forward in an archetypal way, heavy energy of emotional balance. It's a card of Cancer. So it speaks to, Cancer's a card of, it's cups energy, it's water energy, feelings, balanced feelings. You know, so I'm not pulled this way, I'm not pulled that way. And Lovers is on the board, the 6th card, and this is Major Arcana 7. Balanced relationship, mutual love and regard. And again, balanced feelings. And I think it's in both directions. Because how do you lovers with somebody you're not in emotional it's something about like concert with? Not sure why I'm getting that word. And then I got the image of like dancing. I mean, there's some partners you can't get in the, I mean, I'm thinking of slow dancing, but it's even true with the funky dancing. You know, if you're stepping on each other's feet, if you're out of, I mean, I once at my wedding, somebody danced with me, they practically broke me in two because they were a bad partner for me. You know, it was very aggressive, bending me over backwards, you know, picking me up and throwing me around. It was really vigorous and really awful. And there are other, like, you know, tentative, shy school dances where, you know, the person is so uptight. There's nothing relaxed about it. And then there are other people who's just like, there's an ease. You anticipate where they're going to move. You're in this kind of aligned water energy where you know how the other person feels, they know how you feel, and you're moving in concert, in a coordinated, I can read your energies so I can move forward. Okay, and now we have the passion part. In this energy of the Fool, energy of 2 of Wands, fire energy. And this is, it can be read as erratic, as kind of a, you know, a bit dodgy, in the sense of, I don't know, I'm having this kind of a feeling about how do I read this card. But if you're in Chariot energy, you know, going for it, I don't think this is a bad, I think we have to read this as sort of the engine of the Chariot. It's passionate, it's purposeful. It's breaking ground is what I'm getting, breaking ground. Like in this, no matter how I have to get there, I'm determined, you know, and I'm so stable, Chariot, that even if the route looks like this, I'm not sure what the deal is. Can you clarify that, please? The Knight of Wands. How are we to read that? How are we to read that, please? Okay. Bottom of the deck, Six of Swords. Moving forward with renewed clarity. About where you want to go. About where you think you want to go. What you're going to take with you in terms of your ideas. Do they cut a clear path? There's a lot of forward movement here. And so under that erratic, explain to me that erratic energy. Well, it's about how I move forward to the calmer place. Out of a stressful place. Five of Swords. So this is almost like any way you can. Eight of Swords. You need to get out of this bind. And you're going to move forward to do it. And it may be both of you needing to extricate in order to move forward. You've got to get on the same page, kind of, in the way you think about things, in what you think holds you back. It's a card of thinking. Eight of Swords, Six of Swords, Lovers, all in the same energy. And Page of Swords. And this is kind of, I'm going to study this. How to move forward, Fool, because I'm taking a risk. I don't really get risk energy this time. I get faith energy out of Fool. You know, I've studied this from my intuitive place, the place of clarity about this connection and who I match with. So next card, clarifying this Knight of Wands, the kind of erratic energy, finding the way forward, involves again this choice. We have it again, card of choice, card of options. There may be more than one way out. More than one way to skin a cat. I hate that. I hate that. And there's a quote, and I can't remember who it is. I think it's maybe Oscar Wilde. If there's more than one way to skin a cat, I don't want to know about it. I don't know how that fits in. Yeah, let's see. Ace of Cups. Choosing to extricate ourselves, yourself, myself, from the mental block around this choice. Because there's an opportunity in this Chariot energy, that water energy of balanced feelings, for this new love. Nothing here indicates less love in this choice. Because the whole thing is about choosing a direction that is in alignment with this connection, but also in alignment with yourself. This is the Fool card, the card of zero. In alignment with yourself. And your own new understanding, Page of Swords. How to birth and go through the portal. It's sort of how to birth yourself into this new place. Okay, clarifying. This is the going forward. How to birth yourself into this new place. Well, apparently, I'm reading this now as you've been working hard at this in fire energy, in the energy of Two of Wands and Knight of Wands. Trying and not giving up. And it may have taken many tries to get through this portal. This is like almost like a long labor. You know, in some ways exhausting. And it's funny, I'm getting two images of labor, in the sense of birthing labor. And Taurus is Empress energy, the mother energy, the bringing something into creation. And I don't think it's a literal child, although it might be. Give us one more on the Nine of Rods world, the labor. Four of Cups. This may be a card of missed opportunity, but I think in this case it's a card of, at this point you can't see the new opportunity. You've labored so long. But I think you're, I'm getting also in this world card, this circle, this big circle, because world is portal, aperture, entrance, which also implies exit. You know, the entrance from, the entrance into the world from some kind of, you know, amniotic growing place. And I saw in the world, in this circle, in the circle here, it's like the cervix. It's like it's open wide enough to get through. At long last, kind of, the labor's been long, and now it's, something's completed, something's beginning. Ripeness is all, is another thing that springs to mind, which is, you know, it's a King Lear quote, and it just means, like, until the aperture opens wide enough to get through, you can't. But it seems like there's something coming in, some sort of, you know, love affirmation. Somebody's delivering a message to you. That is somehow the fuel for this chariot. It's in the same energy of feelings. And it's something that is coming in, but you're not seeing it yet. And you may think it's in your mind, that you've somehow imagined, you've imagined this. But did you miss the boat? Did the boat leave without you? Something about a boat. And again, the boat image. Which is also, it's sword energy, but it's also water. It's crossing the rough waters into the safe place, into calmer waters that are both to do with how you think about stuff, how you free yourself from inhibiting thoughts, and ultimately choosing love, the opportunity for love. One more on Four of Cups. Because you have a vision. Four of Cups, please. The idea that I've missed the opportunity. All right. We have on Four of Cups, Page of Rods, Page of Wands. In that fire energy. We got a lot of fire in this. A lot of creative, directional energy. And this is the beginning of the journey. Like Fool energy, in the same fire energy. The beginning of the journey. Or setting out. What's it called? The Camino. It's sort of the epic quest where you set out. So you've got the staff. Somebody's setting out. And it's like setting out on the journey, because we have 9 of Wands here. Here's the 10th wand in this person's hand, which makes 10 of Wands, which is like, I need to unburden, to walk this path, to walk the page energy new path. I need to unburden from old patterns. And that's 9 of Wands energy too. Trying it and trying it and trying, you know, the long labor, the long labor. Well, I'd venture to say that's over. There's some way in which the aperture is wide enough for you to step through. 8 of Pentacles, because you've done the work. You've made the investment. And I'm trying to recall, another reader had another reading for 8 of Pentacles. Let me see if I can get it back. Well, I'm not sure this was what, but this is it. Step by step by step. You know, how do you get there? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. Because this is the mastering, the master of the craft. And again, I keep getting the idea of, it has to do with a relationship, but it also has to do with work. Of trying, persevering, 9 of Wands, to find this new way. To find the new way. And it's the inspirational path that is in 3D, first of all. It's earth energy. And it's something, again, about bringing through, world card, because now the aperture is big enough to step through. Or you can bring through something into 3D because you've done the work. But it's like, boom, you're not through the portal. There's something to do with step by step by step. This journey, oh, that's it. I'm sort of slow. This is a journey sort of toward self-realization I'm getting. You're led intuitively on this path, El Camino, step by step by step. You'll do it. You know, the inspiration is there. The sense of direction is there. And now you're walking the path. Making it real, step by step. And you know how to do this. It's in your energy, Taurus. And Taurus is a birth energy. It's Empress energy. She's the full pregnant belly. She's the principle of growth. And last card out. Oh, damn it. Just got an... Oh, okay, that's good. We'll take it. The card of the new truth, the new way of thinking. And it's also a card of the ability to sever. I mean, sometimes it's read that way, and I'm getting a little bit of that here, like to cut the cord. And it's in sword energy of that Eight of Swords, what holds you back? There's a new truth, a new clarity, a new beginning. That may involve cutting a cord. Well, I'm sorry, I keep getting the birth image, like cutting the umbilical cord. I think I said something about, I mean, this is sort of like coming out of the womb. You come out, or whatever it is you're birthing comes out, and there's a need to cut the cord. You know, to go on this path. The labor has been long, because that's all to this. This is a card of work. And as I was reading it, so's the Nine of Wands. Exhausting work to bring this thing into being. Work, work, work. It's birthed. And you cut the cord in order to give the baby doesn't, and this I think is a metaphorical baby. The baby can't stay attached to the cord. The placenta's out. That's not where they get their nourishment anymore, this baby. They need to breathe with their own lungs. They can no longer, because they've grown. So there's something about autonomy. Star card. Again, in air energy, this is card of Aquarius. And I tend to read this card as following the star, the guidance to where you belong. I always say supposed to be, and that has such a sort of like, this is where you're supposed to be. But in a way, that's echoed by this path. Knowing where you're supposed to be, walking the path, step by step by step in real life, in order to get to this healing place where you're supposed to be. Because evidently, I mean, this is the card of the wounded warrior, of hanging in through a long labor. Now it's time to be born. And this is the blessed place. And again, the imagery of the birth. I'm getting now And I don't subscribe to one religious sect or path or anything. And the other card for Taurus is Hierophant, higher power. But this is being guided to, in the Christian creation story, the place of birth, the manger. Where the God spirit comes into human form. Not just in that guy, in all of us. Hopefully. And it's the knowledge that in ourselves, I don't usually do this. Sometimes in private readings or, when I watch another really resonant reading, I tear up. But this is making me tear up. To the holy place. To the birth of our own divinity and knowing it. With this clarity. And that this path leads you there. Because you've walked it in earth energy and 3D effort, work, investment, creating something of value, mastering your craft. And this is your energy. I almost said Capricorn. It is kind of a Capricorn energy, but it's yours too, earth energy. You've labored long and faithfully. I need to stop now. It's like getting to me. But this is a marvelous card to end on. Wow. Yeah, I think that's it. And it's interesting that technically, Taurus is an earth sign. This is the only earth card on the board. Oh no, and 2 of Pentacles, I'm sorry. So we get the 8 and the 2. And if you add them together, you get 10 of Pentacles. The full Monty. This is Taurus in her abundance, in her Empress energy. Being able to create in this lifetime by walking the path, putting in the energy, hard work, bringing this into being in the Empress way, in the world way. 10 of Pentacles. Great abundance. Kind of for both of you, 2 of Pentacles. Like it's balance. Again, it's this Chariot aspect of balance. Being balanced in your emotions so that you can walk the path in 3D. Get really almost stepping stones. The stepping stones. Card of direction, which way to go. I mean, it seems clear to me, and I think it's clear to you. It's becoming clear to you. Clearer. Clearer. And this is sort of a card of clearer. With fresh eyes. Beginner's mind. Not walking the same path. The new path. And I'm getting it's new and it's not new. Like you've done this before. You've labored before. You've brought something wonderful into being already. You've got your chops. in terms of the practice, you've done that in many areas of your life. You've persevered, you've walked the path. my Taurus, I'm glad that's the opening one that, you know, you led the way. You broke trail. You led the way. By walking the path. And there's something about, like, the work that you've done breaks trail for future endeavors of yours and of this relationship, this lover's relation. Oops, shoot, it's gone. The lover's relationship. So you both, I think, are breaking trail, choosing to break trail. To clear the way. To clear the way. And you're sort of, this is the way. Like, you know the way forward, you do. You know the way forward. In both your heart, you know, your feelings are telling you, and your wands, Knight of Wands thing is saying, this is the way out of this mental trap into clarity. I've made the choice for new love. The choice. Lover's card. The love path. Which is not the first time we've gotten that message. Oh, Taurus. This is wonderful. Fool. And that's Aries energy. We're going from Aries into Taurus. It's your time, Taurus. It's your time. And you're on the way to this blessed place of the birth of, you know, you followed the path that leads you to your knowledge of your own divinity, step by step. And there's something like you've arrived. You've arrived. And it doesn't mean you don't need to continue on the path, because, I mean, that's what we do. You know, it's not static, but you're balanced in your feelings. You can move forward. Bless your heart.